what we want to do is after we move and throughout the day, we want to have adequate protein, okay? The reason for that is that's going to help us build lean muscle. When you build lean muscle, that helps to increase your metabolism, okay? When you increase your metabolism, your body essentially becomes a more efficient, effective machine at burning calories, which is going to help you get to your body composition goals even faster, okay? So if you're someone that's thinking about, losing weight, changing your body, increasing muscle mass, having adequate protein is really important, because the best way to help your body become more efficient, build lean muscle, okay? We're not talking about big bodybuilder type muscle. We're just talking about long, lean muscle. That's going to help increase your metabolism, help you get to those goals that you want, okay? So building muscle, really important for changing body composition. Now, building muscle is also really important as we start thinking about the aging process, okay? One of the things that happens as we get older, whether we like it or not, is we start to lose muscle mass, okay? Starting in our 30s, we can lose a percentage of muscle mass every single year starting into our 30s, okay? But that does not mean that we have to just sit back and let it happen, okay? We can take charge of that. And the way that we can do that is through weight-bearing exercise and consuming enough protein. Now, you might be thinking, I'm 75, I'm 85, my parents are 85, my grandparents, why does it matter if we have enough muscle mass? Okay, well, think about all the things that you take for granted every single day. Getting out of a chair, putting your groceries away, picking up your grandkids, running after them. There's so many things that we do. Simply just walking requires leg strength and core strength. So the more we can maintain our muscle mass, muscle is related to balance, balance is related to independence. So really important as we think about healthy aging that we think about maintaining our muscle mass. And one of the best ways that we can do that is by consuming adequate amount of protein, okay? So when we start thinking about muscle mass and we start thinking about building muscle, and we hear this term and this concept, building muscle, my challenge for you guys is to think outside the box of who building muscle is for, right? It's for everybody. But to do that, we have to have enough protein, okay? But if you look at this graph, it's not just having enough protein, but it's also making sure that we have enough protein spread throughout the entire day. So what you can see on this graph is typically how people consume protein. So not a whole lot at breakfast, maybe a little bit more for lunch, and the most at dinner. Okay? But the reality is the body doesn't want that. The body wants our protein spread throughout the entire day, right? So our body doesn't actually store those amino acids, those puzzle pieces that we were talking about. The body doesn't store them. So we have to make sure that we're constantly feeding our muscles throughout the entire day. Because like I said earlier, any movement, what you're doing, walking around, moving your body, that's going to break down muscle fibers. We've got to make sure that we're giving our body protein throughout the day. This is going to help increase our body's ability to use it, okay? So when we have protein throughout the day, we have higher protein synthesis, which means our body's able to use the protein more effectively, okay? Now, I know this graph looks kind of complicated, but all this is saying is that it goes back to that first concept that we were talking about, right? Which is this idea of balance. So if you are consuming adequate amount of protein, whether you are younger, which is the yellow graph, the yellow lines, or you're older adult, which is the green lines, when you combine protein consumption throughout the day plus exercise, you're going to get increased muscle protein synthesis, right? So it's about that balance. It's making sure that yes, we're consuming enough protein throughout the day, but we've got to combine it with movement. We have to combine it with exercise. Now, we could talk for an hour about what type of exercise, but the most important thing is that you find something that you love to do, okay? If you don't like to run, don't run, right? If you want to swim, swim. If you like hiking, if you like Pilates, if you like yoga, whatever it may be, do that type of exercise. We want to get some strength training. We want to get some resistance training. Really important for helping to maintain that muscle mass, okay? But the ultimate goal, regardless if you are trying to bulk up, regardless if you're trying to change your body composition or think about aging gracefully is we have to have adequate protein to be able to support that muscle mass. It's going to be so important regardless what our goal is. And then we've got to combine that with movement, and we're really going to help our body be as effective as possible with that protein that we are giving it. Okay, so thankfully at Herbalife, you guys know it is very easy to get protein throughout the day. So whether you're having something like your Formula 1 in the morning, a couple high protein snacks throughout the day, good whole foods lunch, maybe some fish, some salmon, chicken, maybe another protein snack mid-afternoon, and a good whole foods dinner. This is a really good way to get your protein intake spread throughout the day to ensure that your body is getting what it actually needs and what it wants, okay? But that leads us to the question that we're trying to answer. Animal protein, plant-based protein, which is the best way to go? Okay, and this is really important because, again, I think with social media, with more media, movies that are coming out, we have to be really careful with the information that we digest, because so often what you see online is it has to be this way, this is the only way to do it, or no, it has to be this way and this is the best way to do it, without really understanding that there's always two sides to every argument. And so I really want to explain to you guys what the difference is between animal proteins and plant-based proteins and why there's room for both, right? Or if you choose to just follow a plant-based diet, that's fine. We just have to have certain things that we're aware of, okay? So what's best? So now let's go back to that conversation that we were having about 20 minutes ago about amino acids. Okay, remember, we said that there are 9 essential amino acids. Okay, so what that means is if a food has all 9 of those essential amino acids, it's considered to be a complete protein. Okay, so what you see here is that animal proteins have all 9 of those essential amino acids, okay? So if you're consuming chicken, fish, eggs, these things are going to be complete proteins because they have all 9 of those essential amino acids. Now, plant proteins, on the other hand, typically are not complete proteins, okay? They're usually missing 1 or more of the essential amino acids. However, there are a few exceptions, one of which being soy. Okay, so soy, although it is a plant, it does actually contain all 9 of the essential amino acids. So what's great is, if you're getting soy, you're getting all of those essential amino acids that your body needs. Okay, so like I was saying, most plant proteins are incomplete. So you want to make sure, and this is something that if you're following a plant-based diet, very, very, very important that you consume a variety of plants throughout your day. Okay, so we have foods that are considered to be complementary proteins, right? Brown rice, black beans. So what the rice is missing in amino acids, the black beans have. Combine them together, complete protein. Same thing with lentils and whole grains, okay? So there are ways, of course, to get all the essential amino acids that your body needs on a plant-based diet, but it's just really important that you're aware of this concept of getting all of those essential amino acids that your body actually needs to make sure that you are consuming complete proteins throughout the day, okay? So again, we have to make sure that we are getting all of those essential amino acids. We need to get them at the right levels. So if you are only consuming plants, this is something that you really want to be aware of, okay? Animal proteins, of course, like we said, they're complete proteins. You know that you're getting all of the essential amino acids that your body needs, okay? So on one hand, is it easier consuming animal protein to know that you're getting what your body needs? Yes, it is easier in some senses, right? Because every animal protein is going to be a complete protein. Now, plant-based diet, you're consuming soy, you know that you're getting those essential amino acids as well. But just something to be aware of, that you have on a plant-based diet a good variety of different types of plant proteins, because if we're missing a good amount of those essential amino acids over a long period of time, it can impact our health, okay? But of course, At Herbalife, since like we started with, everything that we do is based in science, we want to make sure that all of the proteins that we're providing you have those essential amino acids that the body needs, right? So we could look at our Herbalife 24 products. Those are dairy-based proteins, okay? Dairy-based proteins, that is going to have all the essential amino acids. It's an animal-based protein, so you know it's going to be complete. F1, soy-based protein. Again, like we talked about, one of the very few plants that actually has all 9 essential amino acids. You know that you're getting everything you need with that. But you guys also have another option, which is great. So Formula 1 Select, okay? We're getting in this plant-based protein, really important, a combination of different plant proteins. What you'll see out in the market a lot of times is you'll see plant-based proteins that are advertised, and they might only have pea protein. They might only have rice protein, but you're not gonna get all the essential amino acids that your body actually needs. So super important with the Formula 1 Select, that you guys have in Taiwan, you're getting pea, rice, and quinoa. So that combination is going to allow you to get all 9 of the essential amino acids that your body needs, okay? All with just 90 calories. And it also has 19 vitamins and minerals. And I think, this is something we don't often talk a lot about, are the vitamins and minerals. But I think it's so important, because the thing is that the food industry is great at understanding trends, right? People want low calorie. Well, it's very easy to make low calorie foods, but it doesn't mean that those foods are actually good for you, right? So you can create 100 calorie snack packs of different foods, but they might not have any vitamins and minerals. They're very low nutrient dense foods. Whereas with Formula 1 Select, not only do you have just 90 calories, but you also have high nutrient density with all the vitamins and minerals that your body is actually getting. So super important to get all those vitamins and minerals. And of course, you're getting your fiber as well. Most people are low in fiber. So having 5 grams of fiber, really important for our digestive system, maintaining the health of our microbiome. So really incredible product that kind of checks all the boxes, right? If you're following a plant-based diet, you know you're getting those essential amino acids with the pea, rice, quinoa. You're getting 10 grams of protein, you're getting your fiber, you're getting your vitamins and minerals, all within 90 calories, no artificial flavors or sweeteners, and then not made with soy or dairy, and it is also gluten-free. So a really great option for someone that's following a plant-based diet, maybe doesn't want soy and doesn't want to have any dairy protein as well. So really great option. Again, checks all those boxes of what the body needs, right? Because I think it's really important that sometimes when we talk about plant-based diet versus animal-based diet, we kind of focus sometimes on the environmental factors, right? The environmental factors of following a plant-based diet. And we'll talk about that in a second. And it is very important. But it's also important that we consider our internal environment. And sometimes following a plant-based diet, it's harder to get what our internal environment needs. So this is a really great option to give that internal environment, our body, what it needs, while also being conscious of the environment around us, okay? And this is often the conversation that we hear about plant versus animal foods, right? What is having a higher impact on our external environment, the world that we live in? And you can see that people that consume a significant amount of meat on a daily basis have higher impact on greenhouse gas emissions than vegans or vegetarians, okay? But I will say, I think it's important to understand what this actually means, because I think sometimes we clump all the meat together, when in reality, what we're really talking about is we're really talking about the impact of red meat. Okay, so if we look here, you can see that the animal proteins do have a little bit higher of an impact on our greenhouse gases, but it's really the beef that has the biggest impact, okay? Plant-based, much lower, but when we're also looking at dairy, fish, eggs, it is significantly lower than when we're talking about red meat consumption, okay? But it is an important conversation, and a lot of people will cite it when they're talking about reasons for following a plant-based diet, and certainly plant-based diet can have a lower impact on our greenhouse gases, okay? It's also important to know that this is really a decision that a thought process that goes into making a decision, especially in Gen Z and millennial consumers, right? So 85% will say that they think that they can make a difference by purchasing sustainable products. Usually that's more of a plant-based product. And then 74% say, I want to educate my ways on reducing my carbon footprint. Okay, so very important consideration, again, when we start thinking about that plant-based conversation. But at Herbalife, we've been part of this solution for a really long time. We started with plant-based, right? We started with soy. So we've been ahead of the game in the plant-based conversation for a very long time. So we can have a significantly smaller impact on greenhouse gases. You can see if we're looking at soy protein has a 74 times smaller impact on our methane carbon footprint than if we look at strictly beef. So it is amazing the difference that we can make, but I encourage you as well to think about our internal environment, right? So our products are going to help both with our internal environment, getting those amino acids, the proteins, the vitamins and minerals that our body needs, as well as making sure that we're thinking about our external environment and what that needs as well. So I know that was a lot of information in a short period of time, but I think the take home is really, there can be room for both. If you want to follow a plant-based diet, great. Just be aware that you need to make sure you get those essential amino acids that your body needs. And if you want to have animal-based proteins and plant-based proteins, that's a great option as well. So I know some people will try and tell you there's only one right way to do it, but there's lots of ways to do it. And with all of our Herbalife products, there is a lot of flexibility and a lot of ways that you can make it work regardless of what your goal is, because ultimately we all need enough protein to make sure that we build muscle to help us accomplish whatever that goal is that we're trying to achieve. So again, thank you guys so much for having me. It's always an honor to be with you, and hopefully I can see you all very, very soon. So thanks so much and have a good rest of your day.